Hello, just want to get started here with our presentation on innovation games. My name is Ben Leonard. I'm doing this remotely and just wanted to cover kind of the overview of innovation games before passing it off to my teammates. But basically what innovation games is, it's a series of interactive games that you play with your customer. This was developed by a guy named Luke Homan, who's actually the founder and CEO of a software development consulting firm out in California. Some of the things that this does, and it's kind of a unique way of doing market research, but when you're doing this market research, you're getting qualitative data through this research technique using a series of these interactive tools to engage with your customers. So after I kind of go over this, we're going to play a couple games with you guys and just to demonstrate what this is, because it's kind of an abstract idea, but we'll go over that later on in the presentation. And there's actually 12 games to be played. And you play these games as a market researcher. You play them with your customers. You can do this online, some of the games, but we'll talk about that later, that most of them are done in person. There's multiple uses with all of these games, depending on the desired goals or what you're trying to uncover from your market research. But what we really liked about this book is the focus on innovation, and we'll get into the details of that in a minute. So how to use innovation games. This is a directed market research program where you can use this in the same way as doing a survey or any kind of specific questions. If you're looking for specific attributes that you're testing for, or what features you want to be added to a product, you can use some of these games in that specific way, but it's a little more interactive and fun. You can also do more of a customer-centric innovation. It's uncovering what you don't know, and I'll have a slide on that next to kind of explain that a little bit more, but it uncovers these unknown market needs that are out there. Understanding your wants and needs, kind of like their Kano model, or creating non-functional features and testing those are important, but it's after you know what the market wants and needs. So you have to figure out what those features actually are first. Another thing you can use innovation games for is providing support and strengthening your relationships with your customers. Anytime you're interacting with them, bringing them into your organization, asking them questions and engaging with them is going to improve that relationship you have. So this is what I want to talk about and really explain, because this was hit home in the book. When you're doing market research, you think that you have an understanding of your customers. So you have this green piece of the pie here of what you know. And then you also think, okay, I don't know all of these other things, so I'm going to ask questions about them. By asking questions, you're already identifying that you don't know something. So what the book kind of highlights is this is really what it looks like. You have what you know, and then you have what you don't know. But what's out there is stuff that you don't even know to ask. You don't even know is an important issue for your customers. You don't know what you don't know. I hope that makes sense, but going on here. So what you can create from using these innovation games, like I said, it's qualitative market research. One of the games, you actually create product roadmaps, but you can use the data and information gleaned from these interactive sessions and create a product roadmap. It's also a great way of improving your sales and marketing effectiveness. You really watch and learn from your customers. With these games, you're actually doing them in person and watching them, how they interact, what kind of language they use, how they use the product. Some ways you may have not thought about how they use the product, so you can really improve the form of marketing that you would use in your sales techniques. Again, improving customer relationships. One of the things that when you're trying to do market research and do maybe an informal, maybe like an informal sensing session with your customers, they just sit in a room, you ask them a bunch of questions. It's more of a one-way dialogue, and it's not very fun. They focus a lot on fun in the book. So one of the things that will improve your relationship with these customers, they're coming in, they're going to have a memorable experience, they're going to have a good time with you and your marketing team in the organization. The other thing this is going to uncover is new business opportunities. And then this also helps with your strategic planning as well, as you will see. So overall, what do we think of innovation games? And again, we're going to go through two of the examples here, but kind of looking at some of the cons, it's labor intensive for sure. You can try to replicate some of these over the phone or maybe on like a Skype or Zoom session or something like that. But it is labor intensive. You have to have the people together in the same room is where you're going to get the most value out of these games, and that's how they were designed. Best one done in the same room. And it may not give you concrete data like you would with maybe something like conjoint analysis. But what are the pros? You're interacting with the customers. You're actually there. They're kind of leading the dance. It's fun. People enjoy playing these games. There's a couple YouTube videos out there we watched of people actually doing this, and they seem to be a lot of fun. And the customers rather do play a game or build a box or play some of these games and interact with each other and the marketing team versus just sitting in a room and answering questions. So with it being fun, they're more willing to participate. And they uncover some of these unknown issues, as I discussed in the previous slide. But the most important thing is innovation games, as it's in the title. It's all about innovation and all about uncovering these unknown wants and needs in the customers, the customer journey. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my teammates, and thank you very much.